Where'd they go?
He's inside the building.
Alright, coming on you, EJ.
That didn't sound right.
Giggity, giggity, giggity,
Yep, that didn't sound right at all. Following you, EJ.
I was like, coming on you, EJ.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, hold on. That didn't come out the way. No, you didn't hear that.
What is up, Gorilla Nation, and welcome your asses back to a brand new edition and a brand new episode of the Build Doctor series, aka the Pestify, hallelujah, Striker build. Now, typically this build is used by most people with the Lady Death, but let's just be quite honest. Any build or any mediocre build, trash build, whatever kind of build you're using, if you're utilizing Lady Death alone makes it actually a good build. So I do not particularly use Lady Death. I'm an LMG guy, thus the LMG Pestilence Striker build. But first and foremost, if you would be so kind, please show some love to that like button, smash that sub button if you happen to be new, and last but not least, reach up there, trigger the bell, and turn on post notifications, so that way you never miss a live stream or a video that is uploaded. If you tuned in to my recent streams of the Iron Horse raid, you can see this build in action in the PvE aspect of it, so check out that video on the channel. Also, I've included some PvP clips in this particular video to show its devastating power in PvP as well. So it's a multifaceted, multi-versatile build, and it's actually the first Striker build I've ever made. So I'm going to send you over to some gameplay, and we'll see you guys and gals back here in just a moment.
Do it! Do it! Come on! Do it now!
And why?
You know who went rogue.
Come on, man.
Oh, we got another player. To you.
One's out, two's out. Okay, they're using Cronus. They're using fucking Cronus. He just teleported.
Fuck. Great.
Teleported. He was in front of me, then all of a sudden he was on my left. Way on my left. And I got smacked by that other dude.
Yep, I'm healing. Here, I got a hive, get you up. I'm healing.
No!
Yeah.
No! She wasn't ready!
Putting in work, son, with his Pepsi. One's ticking.
Good, good, good.
You're gonna die, stupid.
Down. Got one up here trying to use trauma on me. Nah, dude, you're not getting me. I'm ignoring your drone and I'm killing you. And as soon as it just gets in my line of sight.
Sorry, I jumped over the rail.
Can you deal with that?
As you can see, that sweet little three-piece right there. Granted, they wouldn't look it at me, but with one magazine of the Pestilence, I was able to smack around all three of them. The second one with those ticks of the Pestilence, and they didn't really stand a chance. But without further ado, and enough of my rambling, since I do that a lot, let's send it over to the build. Now, as you can see, I'm utilizing 4 pieces of Striker, 1 Walker Harris, and of course the Coyote's Mask. I'm utilizing the Gunner Specialist just for the part that you've seen in the clip, since I'm at only 1.1 million armor. If I do get pushed or have to push up on someone to help out a teammate, then that bonus armor definitely does come in handy. But personal preference here, if as soon as I can find a striker piece, actually better striker pieces than the ones that I have here, because they're by no means maxed out, they're mediocre. My personal preference would be around 1.3 million armor and utilize the survivalist specialist, just for the simple aspect, since I'm utilizing the trauma talent on my chest piece, damage to targets or increase by my teammates, their damage they inflict. I think it's by 10%, to targets that are on status effect by utilizing the survivalist. Thus, that is why my reasoning would be to go to 1.3 million armor, and of course utilize that survivalist specialist if all things were perfect and true. We're starting out first. We have the RPK. This one has measured. Its base RPM is 748, and then you have to throw in the RPM adjustment from the striker, and then it gets close to 800 RPM with the measured talent on it. So that way you can build up those stacks really quickly with the RPK. And if you're utilizing basically the Negev, the RPK, a higher RPM, lower damage, LMG, then you can build up those stacks quite easily just by landing your shots. But with all the rest of the 100 rounders, it's quite hard to build up at least 50 stacks because of that low RPM, so keep that in mind. Now, I do have a plethora of different RPKs. I do have one with unhinged, and if you can control the recoil, especially if you're being pushed and up close and personal, then it's quite easy. But from mid-range, it jerks up pretty nastily with unhinged. But if you can control it, then by all means go with it. Then of course I have one that has that I haven't rolled yet with steady-handed on it, since I am a crit build that increases accuracy and stability with landed shots. Then I would change out the magazine size, of course, and then go with damage to armor. Then we have the new reliable. This one has the additional rate of fire on it, and as you can see, the RPM jumps up even more on it. And then I also have a new reliable that increases the crit chance, so that way, instead of having crit chance rolls on other pieces, then I can increase critical hit damage. So I have different facets and multiple variations of the RPK. And of course, its stats: 57.9% critical hit chance, 83.9 critical hit damage, 65 headshot damage, and then at 6% damage to armor. Now, when it comes to the like of the Pestilence, when I go out there and baptize people in the dark zone, girl, I told you I had to leave last night, so there is no need for you to bump into me and mess up my build video. So stop being salty and just deal with it. Sorry, guys and gals, for that rude interruption. 94.2k base, and of course, like I was talking about earlier, with that low RPM only at 688, it is hard to build. I didn't go with the striker chest piece. The striker chest piece has the Prestige advantage, but increases the stacks from 50 to 100. It is quite easy to do it with the RPK with measured on it to build up those stacks. You can, if you land all your shots, get above 50. But with each missing shot, you lose 1% stack, and every second that passes you're not landing shots, it also decreases those stacks. So you're only getting about 25 stacks with a Pestilence, and then you can actually build up quite easily with an RPK or higher RPM LMG, and then you can utilize the striker chest piece. But it is hard to find a decent piece of Petrov, so that's why I went with the Walker Harris with the trauma talent on it. Max armor, critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and of course critical hit chance in the mod slot. I'm utilizing the Coyote mask. There's the stats as followed: max weapon damage, 4.6 critical hit chance, and 12% critical hit damage with 11.2 critical hit damage. Your numbers will be different than mine. I have mediocre pieces, so if you have better pieces, then your damage numbers will reflect that, and you'll also be able to inflict more damage and more significant damage than what I am here. Now, I got all four of the striker pieces. Stop staring at the back of my neck. I told you we'll do this again later. Dang, woman. So greedy. Anyways, I got all four of these pieces in the Iron Horse raid, and they're mediocre, and that's being nice about it. But let's start with the holster. Only 12.8 weapon damage, 12% critical hit damage, As far as in the attributes and zero, I'm doing a build video, but I'll see you in a moment, boo, once I get finished. And then, of course, in the backpack, 12.6 weapon damage. We have critical hit chance and then critical hit damage on it. Then we have risk management. Increases total weapon damage gained per stack of Striker's Gamble from 0.5% to 0.65. So that the backpack is better than the chest piece, especially when using a lower RPM weapon, no matter what the archetype is. Most people, when it comes to Striker, they use either a higher RPM, like such as the FAMAS or the M4, or even something at least with 800 RPM assault rifle or the Lady Death. But when it comes to Lady Death, it doesn't matter how crappy your build is or how low your stats are, or just if you have, like I said, crappy pieces. The Lady Death makes any build good. So I prefer not to use that crutch like others do. But the backpack gives you more weapon damage with lower RP weapons versus the chest piece. Now, when it comes to the gloves, we have max armor, and then, of course, critical hit chance. And then the fourth piece is max weapon damage, and then, of course, critical hit chance on it. So I'm missing out on at least around 7 to 8% weapon damage on my pieces. So my damage numbers reflect that. So if you have better pieces, then you're going to be doing more damage than me. But this build has been really fun in both PvE and PvP. You can make it your own. If you do want to switch out some of these pieces and go with contractor's gloves like most do, then by all means do so. But you can mix and match however you want it and make it your own, and according to your play style and what talents you want to utilize. And if you don't like LMGs and prefer the likes of SMGs or even assault rifles, then by all means make it your own, and just go out there and have fun. But I appreciate you all tuning in. I appreciate all the love and support of me coming back to the game. So definitely shout out to everyone that's showing that love and support. I appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you fudging later.